ahead and mute myself. Kyle's on you.
Hey, we'll take questions for our running backs coach, Julian Griffin. JJ, you're up first.
Hey, Coach, thanks for joining us today. How are things gone this fall, these few weeks you've been able to practice with the guys?
Man, it's been really good. The guys are giving a lot of energy, giving a lot of great effort out there, truly enjoying it. Big thing about it is making sure we're just staying hydrated because, as you know, here in San Antonio, man, they get hot really quick. We're going early in the mornings. It's still kind of hot, but it's pretty good, man.
What's been some of the overall impressions with some of the guys you have in your room? So a few talented guys there. You think you have enough talent in your running back room to compete?
Yes, sir. I really do believe that we have some great guys in our room. Obviously, Sincere McCormick, he had an outstanding year last year. Credit to the guys who, got him here. But, he's really showing up this fall camp, as well as Brendan Brady. He's another local kid here from San Antonio. But you can't forget about BJ Daniels. I have a room. I'm fortunate enough, blessed enough to have a room of guys that really want to compete every single day. And I think the beautiful thing about it is they know that at any moment, the guy that's behind them can be in front of them. So it's a healthy competition, great competition. But I think the biggest thing about, the running back room right now is how close those guys are. Like, they're truly friends. So, and that's the good thing, especially in this game, having guys that you can really love and support and be, encourage them to get better. So, great room.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Greg, you're up.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm wondering, what's the biggest thing that jumps out about Sincere McCormick and what he brings to the table for you guys?
Man, the biggest thing about Sincere is his everyday attitude. He comes to work every day wanting to get better than he was the day before. And especially with him being so young, he had a lot of success as a freshman last year. And now being able to come back into the room with a new coaching staff, with a new coach, and guys in his room, that he's really competing against, knowing, hey, yesterday was yesterday, today is today. I need to get better today. That's the biggest thing that he's really bringing to the room. And I think he's really putting a lot of pressure on those true freshmen that we have in our room right now with Jalen Lott and Casey Cobbs and Justin Rodriguez. Those guys just knowing that he had that success as a freshman because of his work ethic. And now he knows, with Brendan Brady, Kadari Johnson, and BJ Daniels right there, right neck and neck with them, he just knows every day he has to get better. He's continuing to grind and put that first foot forward.
What are some of those ways that he can get better as a young player who's still developing? Where do you think we'll see that growth?
I think the growth with him just being as a young player right now is just listening and learning. Just because at the end of the day, having a lot of success early in your career, you kind of feel as if, I've arrived. Not that he doesn't feel that way, but you can get beside yourself a little bit. And I think that's the big thing with him. Like, he's listening and he's learning. He's not quick to talk. He's really more so, okay, coach, I got you. I understand. Hey, coach, how can I do this? What do I need to do to get better? And those are the strides that he's making just as a young player. So when he becomes a junior, he becomes a senior, when he gets to that next level, he's able to listen. He's able to communicate effectively with his coaches and obviously his teammates.
What's it been like in general practicing with all the different safety precautions and protocols that are in place?
Honestly, man, it's been good. Football is football. You got to do what you have to do to be safe. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much the norm right now in America of just, I got my mask right here, so just being safe and just understanding, keep your distance from your teammates, keep your distance from your coaches, understanding, when you go get water, let the trainers get it to you, and just being smart in what you're doing and not taking anything for advantage right now. But, it's been good. It will get frustrating at times because you want to go grab that water bottle. You want to do this. You want to put your hands or you want to put your arms around your guys. But it's like, you can't do that. So, but, it's good. As long as we're giving great effort and giving full speed reps, I think we'll all be happy.
Do you personally feel safe as you look at the prospect of going through the full season, or do you have any concerns?
No, I feel really safe. Our training staff, they're doing a great job. Obviously, our head coach is doing a great job of just making sure us as adults, the coaches are doing what we're supposed to do because we're the ones setting the example for the players. And so if we do what we're supposed to, obviously our guys will follow us. We're the role model. So I feel good about it. And just knowing at the end of the day, if I take care of myself and the person next to me takes care of themselves, everybody will be okay. So just do your job, focus on your part, and everything else will work itself out.
This is kind of changing gears pretty drastically, but we saw starting yesterday that a lot of professional sports teams are canceling or postponing games in response to the Jacob Blake shooting. I'm wondering, what was that conversation like within your team today? Did you guys bring that up at practice, or how did that play out?
Yeah, I spoke to my running backs about it, of just understanding, just the climate of the world right now. With me personally being a young, minority coach, a young black coach, it is hard. It is hard. But at the end of the day, I tell my guys every morning, man, just be thankful for the day that you have. At the end of the day, you have your choices to make. And then whatever choice you make, there's always going to be a consequence. So just make sure you're making the correct choices in life to make sure that you're safe, that you can go home to your loved ones, and just stay out the way. I hate to say it like that, but stay out the way, be safe, and just be thankful for the day that you have, and just help somebody else out in life. And when you see them struggling, lift them up, because you would need somebody to lift you up, in your time of need.
As a black coach, how important is it to be able to offer your perspective and to provide that guidance to these younger players?
I think it's huge. Honestly, I think it's really huge, just because I live the life. If you look around just in the college profession, there's not a lot of black coaches that are head coaches. There's not a lot of black offensive coordinators. There's not a lot of black O-line coaches. There's 130 Division I universities. So I'm one of 130. So that's huge for me to be able to be that one voice of 130. So if I can affect just one person in my room, or one person within the linebacker room, or wherever, the quarterback room, that's huge, because I can give them the way that I feel, the way that I think about it. And I think if the next running back coach at the University of wherever can affect one person, so now that's two people who've been touched, and we just got to continue to spread our voice and just let people hear us and understand where we're coming from.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for Coach Griffin? All right, we'll let him go, and we'll get Coach Traylor in there hopefully shortly here.
BirdsUp. Thank you.
All right, 1 second, Coach. I'll go ahead and get you set up. All right. Stand by. There we go. All right. Just go ahead and just count to 10 and make sure your audio sounds good. Your audio is off. That's why. Now go ahead.
Enough?
Yep. We are good. All right. Kyle, muting myself is all you.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach Traylor. JJ, you're up.
Hey, Jeff, I'm sure we'll get to football today at some point, but I wanted to ask you your reaction to everything that's been going on the last few days with the NBA and, you know, the social injustice. And what did you share with your players this morning about that?
We talked about it right when it came out. We didn't wait till today. So we talk about current events all the time. Nowadays, you have to. There's just so much stuff that goes on. And just like when the George Floyd situation happened, we went from both perspectives. We went from the perspective of a young black man that got shot 7 times, and we went from the perspective of, you know, the policeman, and how we, as players, as coaches, have a responsibility and to do things right. How we handle this situation will be a reflection of our program and how we use our platform and continue to speak up and do things. And, our kids they're amazing kids. We have disagreements on our team. We have guys that see it one way, guys that see it another way. It doesn't leave our locker room. We did a video for Northside Independent School District on social injustice. Stan Lang has told me it's been very well received because our kids understand the different dynamics that black people, brown people, and white people have, and their voices are being heard. And we're going to continue to find ways to use our platform to educate, be empathetic, and make San Antonio a better place, the state a better place, and the world a better place. And I got 110 kids that I wish I could put out in the world, and everybody can see how you're supposed to be.
Thanks, Jeff.
Greg, you're up.
Jeff, along those lines, did you consider whether it might be right to not hold practice today? I know I've seen at least 1 or 2 colleges have done that.
We have a leadership council. Our guys did not bring that to my attention. We had a great practice this morning, one of our best ones. And our guys have a different spin on it so far. They want to use, you know, their sport to be a platform. They want to get out there. So we won't be having these press conferences. You won't be talking to us. We're not playing.
Have you thought about what those initiatives might look like on game days or as you go forward the next couple months to try to raise that awareness or have that conversation?
Well, we're going to meet Sunday night at 6. We've had 10 kids elected to the leadership council. We got a long list of subjects we're going to be meeting on Sunday night at 6. And I still am in communication with them all the time. It's going to be our first formal meeting as a leadership council. And well, those kids have some great ideas. They've been great the entire time. I feel like I'm Ryan Filo today, the way my voice sounds. And got my Ryan Filo impersonation going on today.
Thanks.
John, you're up.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, now it's official. You'll have a 12-game schedule with the BYU game yesterday. Obviously excited that you get to play 12 games, but you also don't have a bye week, basically, from your first game until your final game. The challenges that arise from that, I mean, I know injuries is probably a big thing of a concern, but what's the biggest challenge you see ahead going through 12 weeks straight of nothing but football?
It's a great question, and it's a sad time in our society when we got a 12-game football schedule finally released, and that's not what we get to talk about first, and that concerns me about our country, that we just can't seem to get right. And but to answer your question, obviously playing 12 weeks in a row, not having an open week. Can we stay healthy? How smart am I going to be with the Texas heat? And making sure our kids can maintain the right time to recover to be ready to play on Saturday when we're already behind like we are just because of new coach, pandemic, no spring ball. So those are just a few things we got to get fixed. But it's a beautiful thing about me getting to coach in this state so many years. I do understand the Texas heat, and you're a high school football coach. You got to win 16 to win a state championship. So you play a lot of games in a row. Usually your open week's about week 3 or 4 or 5. So you got to play 11 or 12 weeks in a row anyway. So I've kind of navigated through that a little bit in my career, and I'll use some of that experience to do the same this year.
I wanted to follow up about something. I don't know if anyone's brought it up since the first time you talked, but the single digits. Has anybody earned a single digit yet on your team? And what's kind of the process to get one of those numbers at this point?
Yeah, we've got it done. We're going to announce it Sunday. We're going to start letting that get out. We made a huge deal out of the 2-1-0. Our triangle of toughness, which for us is to be very physical on defense, have a run the ball mentality. You got to be able to run football and be physical on special teams. So we have the 2-1-0 numbers were the ones that we voted on, the most prestigious, and the single digits followed. And so we've got that done, and we'll announce it. We'll get the 2-1-0 kids out probably Sunday night, and the rest of them will go through the week. 110 kids voted. The coaches voted. And, top 10 kids get the singles. And now we had some offensive linemen that were voted in that top 10, obviously. So I'm going to put a triangle on the back of their helmet, the 2-1-0, just so we can signify those guys would have been a single digit, but they can't wear a single digit because they're linemen. So that was very competitive. The kids really took a great pride in that, and we're excited about it. Of course, when you're the head coach, you're always disappointed for number 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. They were almost there, but didn't quite get there. But in today's society, we need to learn that they're not just, not everybody gets a ribbon in. I know that's what we want everybody to believe, but it's not the way it is. And so, yeah, good question.
I want to ask you one last thing too. Obviously today and tomorrow's a big day for a lot of your friends in the business, high school football starting around the state. For you, how excited are you for them to be able to start the season this weekend and to get things going and hopefully have a full season play all the way through December?
It's just so good for kids. I mean, I know it's the right thing. And I know I get people send me messages on Twitter, and I get it. I don't respond to them, but it's the right thing for kids. I know they're safer with us than they are without us. So not to even mention mental health. To be tired at night. It's good for when they put their head down on a pillow that they're hurting a little bit and they're tired. You just sleep better. I don't do anything all day. I don't sleep so good. I toss and turn. I get out there and sweat and work, do something, feel productive about myself. I'm happy for them. I'm thrilled for coaching buddies, players, parents, bands, all that. It's just good stuff. And I'll be keeping up with that Gilmer Gladewater score tomorrow night. I think they moved the game tomorrow night, so that's always a big game in East Texas, and especially for me. That's where I'm from. Coach Griffin's from Gladewater, and we got a small wager. If and when Gilmer wins, he's going to wear my leather jacket at practice. And if Gladewater were to pull the upset, I'm going to wear his jersey at practice. So I'll be keeping my eye on that one.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Travis, you're up. Travis, you there?
Travis went to wear the white buffalo.
There we go. Sorry about that, Coach.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier, and you tweeted yesterday, you wish America was like your locker room. And I just wanted to see if you could give us a little more insight into what you see on a daily basis and why you feel that way.
It's okay to disagree. We can all agree to disagree. I don't know at what point that became not okay, that we could not have different opinions. That's what makes America so great. And a different perspective is okay. And we encourage difficult conversations. I want to be challenged by my coaches. I want our players to be challenged by us. I want them to be able to feel comfortable in challenging us with their thoughts. And I just feel strongly about that. And the very first time I ever met with these kids, I was extremely worried. New coach dealing with all this social injustice. Man, they just, from Miles Benning to 100 pluses to Sticks, just so many different kids. Leroy, Frank, so many different kids just had great perspectives on how to look at this and how we're going to make this better. We've been doing this for 400 years. It's not like it just showed up. How can we make it better? What can we do? And like I was telling, I think JJ, whoever asked, I'm not quite sure. We're going to meet Sunday night at 6, and it's number one on my list to talk about. What can we do to really make it better? And, obviously getting signed up to vote is a big deal. Voting's a big deal. And why is it bad to talk about it? Why is it bad to – obviously we need to. We got to get it better. And whatever side you might be on, I don't understand why there has to be a side. Why can we not be empathetic to a fundamental belief that we should all have a genuine love for each other? And just because your opinion might be different doesn't mean you don't love each other. You just see the world differently. And the more we understand each other, the greater chance we have of loving each other. And that's why it's so great to have a team, be in a locker room, be forced to talk about these subjects. And I feel strongly that's why we're here as coaches. And that's a greater role we have. And the football is just a carrot to help young men navigate through life.
Okay. Before we get Kadari Johnson in there, Coach's got a little bit of a quick announcement on him.
Yeah. So today, I told my guys that 18 times we didn't run all the way off the field. So we were going to run 18 perfect 40s at the end of practice. So practice is over, had them all gather up, and told them all that if Kadari, who's not a punt returner, if he caught Lucas's punt, there'd be no running. Of course, Lucas bounds one up there, and Kadari doesn't catch it, which I understand that because Lucas can boom it, and Kadari doesn't catch punts, right? So I had Ryan Fowler line all of them up, and they were going to run perfect 40s, 18 of them. But I pulled Kadari out, and I put him in push-up position. And I told him he wasn't going to have to run. Since he didn't catch the punt, it's his fault, made everybody run. So everybody's going to have to run. So you can imagine the peer pressure and how bad Kadari felt. And then I said, I'll tell you what, instead of making everybody run 18 perfect 40s, we're going to put Kadari on scholarship today. And, man, those kids went crazy. They all love Kadari, and they were really, really thrilled for him. Kadari's a great young man that's worked his tail off. And UTSA is really glad to help a young man like him go achieve his college degree and get his dreams conquered.
All right. Anything else for Coach Traylor? All right. We'll get Kadari in there shortly.
Thank y'all, man.
Thanks, Jeff.
Kyle, is there any video of that?
All right. Give me a second. I'll go ahead and reposition your camera. Take a half step backwards. Yeah. And then, if you don't mind, just counting to 10 out loud. Make sure the audio sounds good for you.
You said count to 10?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. I got to turn you up a little bit. So I'm behind. All right. I'm good. Let me mute myself. Kyle, I'm good.
Okay. Two things I think they're really cool.
Okay.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you.
All right. We'll take questions for Kadari. JJ, you're up.
Hey, Kadari, thanks for joining us today. Coach just told us he put you on scholarship today at the end of practice. What was that feeling like for you?
Yes, sir. It just felt amazing. Honestly, I thought I was screwed up for the whole team. Dropped the punt return. I didn't want them to have to do 16 perfect 40s. So when he got me in the push-up position, I was like, man, what did I just do? And then he got up and made that announcement, and they all stormed me. It was like a big dog pile, man. They were just excited for me. Just having faith. I'm just happy.
Tell me about your journey to get here to this point. How did you end up coming to UTSA, and what's it been like kind of earning your scholarship?
So I played high school football in Michigan. I played D2 in Michigan with the Saginaw Valley State. And then I was just like, I'm from the state of Texas. So I was like, I just want to go home to Texas. I want to play. So I took a risk. I was on scholarship up there. It came down to Texas. I went to UTSA. I mean, I thought it was a great school to go to play. And I came through a little bit of obstacles. I had to work for a year to get my residency. And then I came on as a walk-on back in 2019, the spring. And I just continued just to keep working. Just keep working. And, like I said, it's a bunch of faith. And then that's all I have to say. Just every other walk-on that's out there, I mean, just have faith, just keep working, and good things will come.
Hey, Greg, you're up.
All right, how you doing?
Good to yourself?
Good. What kind of role do you expect to take this year? How do you fit into the backfield?
Sure, I take any role possible. That's one thing I told Coach Traylor, and he knows, like, I'll do anything, regardless if it's special teams, regardless if it's being in the backfield. I'm always willing to do anything. So, regardless if it's at running back, regardless if it's at punt, kickoff, kick return, anything.
You guys obviously have a really talented group in the backfield there, specifically with Sincere McCormick. What jumps out about his game and what he brings to that room for you guys?
Sincere, it's my roommate. Sincere brings personality. He's a good dude. He works hard. He's very hard on himself, and that's what makes him so great. It's just a guy who's willing to be the best he can be. He's wanting to take care of his family, wanting to take care of his friends. it's great that he's in there and doing what he's doing.
Being that you live with him, what's he like away from the field? What should we know about him away from football?
Just a goofy dude, a goofy person. Always has a smile on his face. I don't know from his interview in here, I don't know if he was smiling a lot, but that dude, he's always in a good mood regardless of what's going on. He's just a big influence to everybody. He's always pushing everybody. He's pushing me to be great. He's pushing the other running backs to be great. Just a good dude.
All right, John, you're up.
Congratulations. And I wanted to ask you, what was that? Have you called your family yet? Have you talked to them? What was their initial reaction when you told them that you're on scholarship?
My mom, she just said she had faith. She was just happy for me. My dad, he's a little tougher on me. But it was good to hear him say that he's proud of me. He said that he believes, he thinks I earned it, even though he hasn't been here because my mom and dad are still in Michigan. But just listening to him telling me to keep working, he was in the military, so he told me any type of adversity, doesn't matter if you get on or you don't, just keep on working and you don't give up, just keep on going.
When you bet on yourself like that, obviously that's a very difficult decision, especially when you already have an education paid for somewhere else. Did you ever question it at any point, or did you know that this was the goal, this was the purpose all along?
It was the goal, and that's what I told my dad when I left, because my parents did not agree with my decision. I can tell you that. But I just told him, I said, I'm gonna get this done for you guys, regardless of what it takes. I knew there was gonna be obstacles in the road, and there definitely was. But just put my head down and keep on going, and I'm just blessed to be in this situation right now.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Greg, you're up.
Kadari, just in a general sense, what's it been like going through practice with all the different rules and safety precautions in place compared to a normal year?
So I've been playing football for a long time, so everything was different at first. So, but honestly, they've been taking care of it. Coaches wearing masks, everybody social distancing, even when we were doing the walkthroughs at the end of July and stuff. But it's still fun. I mean, there's nothing that's really interfering with football. Just knowing that, just having to do the corona test all the time, that's what really sucks the most about it, because, man, that corona test sucks.
It's just uncomfortable to have to do it?
Yes, it's all up in your nose. Man, I probably sneeze a good 100 times, so.
How about just like away from the football setting? How have you had to alter your routine with class or just socially to try to make this work and keep your guys' bubble?
So all my classes are online, but we just stick to our bubble. So from football, we just go home and just stay there all day pretty much. You don't want to go anyplace else because you could catch it anywhere. So you just got to be super cautious. But, we do a pretty good job, I feel like, as a team, to just go to football, do what you need to do, and then go home and just stay home and stay social distance from people that's not in our bubble.
Do you feel totally safe going through the year, given all that you're doing to try to prevent any issues, or do you have any kind of concerns?
Yes, sir, I do feel safe. They do press us about our masks. They do press us about social distancing. The athletic training staff does a great job on that. They make sure they stay on us. But yes, I do feel safe.
This is kind of shifting gears a bit, but we saw yesterday a lot of professional sports teams canceling events because of the Jacob Blake shooting in response to that. What's the conversation about that like within your team today?
First and foremost, that's a sad situation going on. But just like Coach Traylor said, it's good to have disagreements, and I think that's what the world needs to work on. It's just coming together and stop separating. We need to do a better job at that. I have friends of all different ethnicities, and regardless of what's going on, I know they have my back. They know what's wrong and they know what's right, and we all do too as a team. But it's just, as Coach Traylor just says, we just need to stick together and use our voice, our platform, to do something about it.
How can you use that voice in that platform? What kind of stuff do you have in mind, or do you think might be effective?
Something similar to what LeBron is doing, having a voice on Twitter. We have a lot of kids that look up to us and expect us to say something. We're college athletes, so it's very smart to use your voice. Back months ago when they were doing protests, having peaceful protests and things in that nature, to just let the world know that whatever's going on in the United States is not right now. We need to stick together.
Did you guys have any conversation or give any thought to whether it might be right to not hold practice today, or did that not really come across your guys' mind?
I know that I did see that last night. But as far as holding practice, I wasn't sure. I didn't even know till just now that other college teams were holding practice, but it just wasn't something mentioned.
Got it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kadari. We'll get BJ Daniels in there in a second.
Thank you.
Oh, the camera right here? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, there should be a black strip on the ground. Probably take a half step behind it. So look on the ground. Yep. Perfect.
That's good?
That looks perfect.
All right.
Okay. All right, I'm good. I'm gonna mute myself. Kyle's all you.
All right, we'll take questions for senior running back BJ Daniels. JJ, you're up first.
Hey, BJ, how's it going? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on, JJ? Good to see you.
What's it been like this fall so far? You're a few weeks in, and there was a lot of uncertainty about the season. Now it feels like you guys are gonna have a full season, and just overall, what are some of your thoughts on how this fall has gone?
When Coach had us fired up and ready to go, we came in with plans to play from the beginning. So it's just been competitive, especially in our running back room. We're trying to put on the show every day and make it a hard choice for Coach.
What about you specifically? Did what went into your decision to come back to the team this year?
New coaching staff for me, it's like a fresh start, and these guys have given me a great opportunity, and I'm so grateful for them being here. Couldn't ask for a better staff from what it seems like to me. They believe in us, they encourage us every day, and result, we've been putting in some good work.
How do you think you've done so far personally for yourself this fall?
Personally, I feel excellent. I feel like it's been one of my best falls ever, maybe my best fall ever so far. So, I'll help the team any way I can, whatever they need out of me. They're going to give my 100% effort every time. I think they know that.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
BJ, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Greg?
I'm good. I'm wondering, what sort of role do you envision for yourself this fall? How do you feel like you fit in the running back rotation?
This fall, I've worked hard. I hope to get some carries. I think I've done pretty well through the fall with that, and we've been splitting it up pretty equally. So we've all had opportunities to show what we could do in every aspect of the game, and we've all did good. Personally, I felt like I've done pretty good. There's always room for improvement. There's always things you could do better, and I know for sure I'm going to be playing a lot of special teams too. So whatever they need out of me.
Camp is obviously very different this year with all the protocols and safety precautions in place. What's it been like going through it with all that added stuff on top?
It's definitely different because, we've never been through this before. This is a crazy pandemic going on in the nation right now. But, at the end of the day, we put our heads down and we play football. So let all the others, deal with all the other stuff after practice. But when we're on that field, it's all about football. So it hasn't been too difficult. Just got to stay safe.
What is it like away from the field, even like outside team activities, just trying to sort of change routines to keep your guys' bubble and to make sure everything stays safe? How have you had to sort of change your day-to-day life?
Well, during the season, it's the usual. You don't got time for much. You're pretty tired. So,
football practice, get you a meal, get you a workout, and you really just want to relax, get to the schoolwork, and get in bed. So not too hard. You know, football makes it easy on us because it really keeps us busy.
Do you feel totally safe going through the season, given all the different precautions you guys have in place?
Yes, sir. I feel totally safe because we get tested multiple times a week. We get the results back the next day, and, you know, we're in our own bubble. So we got to keep it like that.
This is kind of changing gears quite a bit, but yesterday we saw in pro sports a lot of games get canceled or postponed in response to the Jacob Blake shooting. I'm curious, within your team, what has that conversation been like?
You know, we acknowledged it. We talked about it. You know, coach is big on the, you know, keeping us educated with all the Black Lives movement stuff. But, you know, we're really focused on ball. We're focused on making our team better. Nobody's even thinking about any postpones or, you know, any protests on our behalf. We're thinking about, you know, making our team better. It's about us right now.
Is it still important within that to try to use your platform? How can you guys kind of make a positive impact in this regard?
It is important to use our platform, and I think right now the best thing we're doing to make a positive impact is educating ourselves on it. You know, stay knowledgeable, just know what's going on. Maybe, you know, when the time is right, you might have to say something, but, you know, you got to stay focused.
Thanks, BJ.
No problem.
All right. Anything else for BJ? All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.